before we run the tape, what message were you attempting to get across to him and to your fellow journalists?
Well, we'll discuss the message after watching it. Tony Blinken came in today for his final press conference, and a curtain call, victorious curtain call, kind of a victory lap to tout his Middle East policy, pat himself on the back for a ceasefire deal that would have never happened if Trump were not coming into office. We got word early, actually at around 9:30 a.m. And so I raced in there and managed to get in some questions to Tony Blinken that I've always wanted to ask him I had to ask the questions under duress. I would have never been called on. No dissenters are called on by Blinken or his press secretary. And one of the purposes as well is to hold him accountable for what I consider to be the Holocaust of our time. You know, we may not get Nuremberg 2.0 in the near term, but he needs to at least feel uncomfortable and have this disgusting curtain call ruined by people asking legitimate fact-based questions about how he allowed this to happen.
Here is you challenging the Secretary of State and his people, getting you out of the room. Blinken, number one, Chris.
I have even greater respect, even greater appreciation for you asking the tough questions, for you holding us to account, being on the receiving end. Sometimes that's not always the most comfortable thing, not always the most enjoyable thing, but it is the most necessary thing.
300 reporters in Gaza were on the receiving end of your bombs. Why did you keep the bombs flowing when we had a deal in May?
I'm happy to address questions.
We all knew we had a deal. Everyone in this room knows we had a deal, Tony, and you kept the bombs flowing.
I'm happy to address questions when we get a chance. Thank you.
Why did you sacrifice the rules-based order on the mantle of your commitment to Zionism? Why did you allow my friends to be massacred? Why did you allow
I'm happy to address your questions when we get to questions. Thank you.
You helped destroy our religion, Judaism, by associating
with fascism. I have a statement to make. Thank you.
You waved the white flag before Netanyahu. You waved the white flag before Israeli fascism.
I look forward to taking questions when I get a chance to finish my statement. Thank you.
Your grandfather was an Israel lobbyist. Are you compromised by Israel? Why did you allow the Holocaust of our time to happen? How does it feel to have your legacy be genocide? How does it feel to have your legacy be genocide? You too, Matt. You smirk through the whole thing every day. You smirk through a genocide.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They will never call on Sam Husseini. And Matt Miller started and ordered the cops to come in. The press secretary ordered the cops in to remove him because Sam Husseini attempted to ask a question out of turn. Honestly, if Blinken had just called on Sam, he would have asked a tough question that Blinken could have answered, but they will not allow us to speak in there after they got the sense of what we were asking. It was, it just is too penetrating for them. And what Sam did there, I think, was a remarkable feat. CNN actually showed this to a national audience with a much more vivid angle, showing Sam from the front.